Hey guys, press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update from Pinkvilla.
Well, it's amazing. I mean, I can't be happier, and I feel very blessed, and we are very, very thankful for Misha and Zen. They're gems in our life, and we are very, very fortunate to have them. We kind of decided together both the names when we were going to have our first baby, and so when the boy happened, we stuck to Zen. So Batti Gul Meter Chalu is a film which talks about the fundamental human right, which is electricity. The fact that everybody in this country has the right to electricity. The fact that it is a fundamental human right and therefore it must be affordable. The film specifically deals with the issue of very, very high bills, many times inappropriate bills, meters that are not functioning properly, and the consequences of that on the common man. The character of Tripathi, played by Devendu in this film, is the guy who deals with the issue. I'm playing a Kapti Kamina lawyer who happens to be his best buddy and who happens to take this case on because he's extremely moved and broken by what his friend happens to do because of what the electricity department does to him. So it's a film which is very relevant. I think this is an issue that's prevalent in the heartland of the country, and I don't think the Aam Aadmi has anywhere to go to raise his voice or to be heard. Electricity is something that's so essential that you cannot do without it. And when you get a bill which is inappropriate, it becomes impossible to fight. So this is a film that represents the problem of the Aam Aadmi, and I just really feel that this is something which is a genuine issue, and I feel very fortunate that this film came to me and that I could participate in it. I've done a couple of films in the past which dealt with socially relevant issues like Haider and Udta Punjab, which were about human rights and the drug problem in Punjab. This film obviously is a lot more accessible. It's meant for the families, it's entertaining, it's a commercial film. But at its heart is something which is very, very relevant, and I feel it needs to be spoken about. And I remember when I read the climax speech of this film, it made me cry. And it made me realize, being a big city kid, that I am a part of this problem. I think people from small towns tend to face the issue, but the fact is there's only so much electricity. And if people in big cities don't understand how to conserve electricity, then they're taking away from people who need it in its basic form. So I think every city person needs to see this film to understand the responsibility that they have. And of course, every small town person will relate to it because it's a problem that talks about them. So I'm hoping that people feel the issue, and can connect with the issue. And the way I was emotionally moved, I hope the film can move people and make an impact somewhere in their hearts so that they do something about it and they can understand the plight of the people who are at the brunt of this issue. So the film was a one-line at that time. It was called Roshni, and then it was developed into Batti Gul Meter Chalu. When I heard the final script, I was extremely excited because I felt it was a great combination of a highly entertaining film which also had a heart and had something important to say. I think it was done very well. And of course, the character offered me something which I've never done before. I love the dialect in the film. I love the world of the film. I love the fact that it was a very personal film, but it was saying something which was very large. And so it was an easy decision for me. I mean, me and Shraddha kind of know each other since before we started acting together. Even before we did Haider, I kind of knew her, and so it's been very comfortable working with her. She's playing a really interesting character in the film called Lalita Nautiyal, aka Naughty. I think she's very, very good in the film. In fact, I was dubbing for the film and I called her up one day and I said, listen, I think you're really, really good in the film. So I think she's a huge part of the film, and we always have fun working together. There's a few scenes with Yami in the courtroom. Actually, the courtroom is largely me and Yami, and it was great fun working with her. I must say I was very impressed with her preparation. She's a thorough professional, very good with the language, very good with her diction, had done her homework. Of course, she's wonderful looking, and so I think she plays a very pivotal part in this film, and I think the last 45 minutes of the film wouldn't have been what they are if she wasn't in the film. So she's huge and a very important part of the film, and I had a lot of fun working with her. And I hope that she does more and more work because she really deserves to be seen on the big screen. She's very talented. The same for Devendu. I think Devendu is a very talented boy, and I have thoroughly enjoyed him in Toilet. And in this film, he has, I would say, a far more important part. In fact, I feel that he has the most heroic part in this film because he's the nicest guy in the film. And the issue in the film revolves around his character. So he's very pivotal to the script and very, very crucial to this film. And I think his performance is extremely good. Very real, very restrained, very controlled, very honest. So he's a huge part of the film. Well, it's not subtle. I don't think the message is very clearly there, and it, especially towards the second half of the film, it becomes the thrust of the screenplay and it becomes the central part of the narrative. Is there enough quirk in the film? Oh yeah, there is quirk all through the film. The first half of the film is very largely quirky, and the portions in the courtroom are also very, very quirky because SK is a quirky guy. Sushil Kumar Pant is not a subtle person. He is in your face, he is obnoxious, he is self-oriented, he is cocky. He is very entertaining. So yes, there is a lot of entertainment in the film. The world of the film is very quirky and entertaining, but the issue is at the forefront and is, eventually becomes the center and the focus of the narrative. Yeah, I mean, this character needed me to undo a lot of things about myself. Like I'm a big city boy, so I had to undo whatever little I had to basically get very rough around the edges. I needed to not be aware of my body language. I needed to not be necessarily eloquent in the way I talk. The character is pretty grey, so I needed him to be very real and raw and not really try and make him good and nice and lovable and likable. In fact, I have been saying this, that I don't know how much people like my character, especially in the first half. So there was a lot of breaking down of everything that I am personally, and I usually always enjoy that. Yeah. In my childhood, I wouldn't really know about electricity bills, but maybe when I was a little older, yes. As a kid, I don't know how many parents show the electricity bill to their children and say, "Dekho beta, is saal to band baj gayi." But yeah, as a teenager, I have actually gone and stood in a line because there was this one time when the bill was outrageous and it was obviously not accurate. And I did feel helpless, and I did feel like I'm pushed against the corner because either I pay this bill or my bill gets cut, or my electricity gets cut. So yeah, I understand that feeling, and that was 1 month and one bill which was out of line. But if something like that happens to somebody who has a small scale industry or has a family business, and over a period of a year, if the bill mounts up, it can be catastrophic. I'm not breakdown type of person, so like I don't like start crying at everything, and I'm one of those fighter prototypes, who believes that I'll fix it and I'll solve it. Of course, there are moments of anxiety, and there are moments where you feel you don't want to miss out on anything. But I think when you're in a situation where a lot is demanded of you, you need to be very focused and very centered, and not be breaking down and crying at every opportunity, because that essentially works against the purpose. So yeah, I was anxious, but no breakdown moments as such. Hey guys, this is Shahid Kapoor. I hope you liked my interview, and if you did, please don't forget to share, like, subscribe. Pink Villa.